Welcome back to Marbella now. My name is Nicole King, and from everyone here at Radio Televisión Marbella and our program, we hope you had a fabulous Christmas. We're now going to the new year, and the great thing in Spain is it doesn't finish there, because until the three kings have come on the 6th of January, the party goes on. Let's get started with tonight's program. Last week we were talking to Zach Black about the festivities that will be happening on the 30th of December in the Church Square in San Pedro to raise money and awareness for a disease that's very rare, very unknown. It's called mastocytosis. Well, this week, Jose, who is the father of Pablo, who's a 2-year-old boy who has this problem, has come to join us to actually talk about why we want to raise funds, why we want to raise awareness, and why this event is actually taking place. Jose, thank you so much for taking time to be with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It must have been devastating for you that first day when suddenly Pablo, as I understand it, woke up with a blister on his leg, and then suddenly you started this journey that's taken you all around, well, not all around the world, but certainly around many hospitals, many different visits to find out actually what was wrong with Pablo. Can we start at the beginning? You wake up one day, Pablo's got a blister. What happened next?
Well, at that time we were living in London, as you know, and luckily we had an appointment with the GP that day, so we were about to leave the house. So we were dressing him, and then is when we suddenly realized that a blister appeared here without any accident, without any heat or nothing at all. So we took the way to the GP. When he saw him, he didn't know what it was, so he sent us to the first hospital, Chelsea, and also they didn't know what it was, so they decided to, because the specialist was about to come in the day after, the next morning, they decided to keep him there in the hospital all the night until the next morning. So obviously we're few hours with not knowing at all what was happening, what he had. There was already like 3 doctors, the GP plus another 2 who saw him, but none of them knew what it was, so a lot of questions start to come obviously. And then well, we first had a kind of right diagnostic, but they didn't really know how to treat it. So we were start to investigate. We asked for a second opinion in a different hospital. The diagnostic was pretty much the same, but again, they didn't know how to treat it. So then it took us few weeks looking for, searching in internet, Google, everywhere, asking everybody. And then we came across with Toledo at that point.
Which is a city in Spain where you found a specialist doctor who actually specializes in this, because at first, as I understand it, Pablo was diagnosed with possibly urticaria pigmentosa.
Correct.
But what he has is mastocytosis, which is an even rarer form of the urticaria pigmentosa.
Yeah, exactly.
There being no treatment, as we know for this, obviously makes life very difficult. What is mastocytosis? What does it affect? How does it come? Is it hereditary? Do you know what causes this?
Well, it's actually a blood disease, and the main problem the doctor's facing is that it has lots of different ways to show itself. So in Pablo's, for example, it's quite obvious on the skin. He's full of rashes, which occasionally might become blisters. But there are another type of patients who you cannot see nothing on the skin, actually. It's totally clean, but then the problem is inside. Mainly the digestive apparatus, stomach and other parts. They might have low blood pressure, suddenly, mainly with the heat. They are quite affected by the heat, actually.
So poor Pablo living here in Marbella with the heat here, the summers must be quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially July, August, we stay at home the whole day, basically. So we got like 2 months retirement at home, July and August, with the AC all day.
Yeah, I'm here in Marbella, but it says here I'm in La Canada.
If you haven't mastered the lingo, don't worry. Linear Director has a free GPS geolocator service that will come and find you. How long have you been since this started? When did Pablo first start with symptoms?
That day he was 7 weeks old.
7 weeks old, and he's now 2. So this is something you've lived with, he's lived with all his life. How does he handle it?
He's starting to realize, especially the itching is the worst thing.
So not only does he have rashes and things, it actually itches on the inside as well? You don't know?
Inside we don't really know yet. He's not able yet, obviously, to express what he's suffering. But he's realizing now when the rashes, when he got stressed, if he start playing on the outside of running or something, when he become too excited, for example, then the mastocytosis reacts also. So you need to calm him down, and then at that
How
point,
hard for a 2-year-old?
And he's full of energy also. He doesn't know how to stop, so it's quite.
So at least he's a healthy 2-year-old in that respect, that he's full of life. I know one of the things that obviously, as a parent, doesn't bother you at all, but knowing how people react, how we externally classify people. I know that one of your major worries is Pablo has visible markings on his skin. And although it's not contagious in any way, people obviously, if they don't know, they could get scared. And this is one of your major worries, that you would like our community to realize that this is a little boy who's part of our community, and for us to know about this, so as Pablo grows up, he doesn't have to go through the discomfort as well of feeling that he looks different.
We worry about that because we have actually lived that situation. Thanks God, or thankfully, it's not too common, but occasionally some people you can see on their face, or grabbing
pulling their children away.
And no, it's quite obvious. You might think it's chicken pox or something like that, but it's actually not. So, and also when the people approach to ask you, at the end of the day, you become an ambassador of the disease, obviously. You have to be ready to answer, but obviously also there are ways and ways of asking, and some people is quite unrespectful, for example. We're more than happy to explain it. At the end of the day,
it's what you want to do. You want people to understand. In Andalusia, as I understand it, there are only 34 cases, which makes it very difficult for any investments, any research, any investigation, because there's so few numbers. There is a mastocytosis and rare related disease association that is participating with you, that you are with them together for this event on the 30th. Do you get together with these other people? How do you feel knowing that you're faced with this disease that no one is really doing anything about?
The thing is, it brings us to the same point we had at the beginning. There are so many different grades of disease, and even though some people is affected, some people is having a normal life, or at least the evolution of the disease they having is quite fine, so they kind of not quite involved right now in the association. And we had the other way around, which is we had few cases, one in Sevilla, one girl in Malaga. They cannot drive, they don't know when they're gonna have a shock and suddenly fall on the floor. So they cannot move, they cannot drive to different cities or something like that. So One, we are not many people to help, and second, the own condition make even more difficult to help us. So yeah, somehow we are quite alone on this way. We had the help from Madrid, from the main for the president and all the executive board, let's say. But obviously, again, from Madrid, we got the help for the paperwork, for licenses, for insurances, or something like that, but not a physical help, as it doesn't really make sense to come all the way from Madrid. There will be for the 30th, for example, because hopefully it's going to be a big one. But the last Saturday, we had 2 events. We did 250 kilometers. We were in Atalaya College. There was a charity market in the morning. And then we had a table there showing, talking to the people about the disease. It finished at 4 p.m. and then we packed everything. We took the car and drive to Malaga. As we had another event similar, we were able to collect 500 euros in the whole day. So it doesn't make sense if you have to come from Madrid, pay the train or whatever. At the end of the day, you're going to spend more money.
More money than.
in the
but
way.
The good thing is that if as a local community that we get on this and we do our thing, which is doing lots of little events, 500 plus 500 plus 500.
And you create awareness at the end of the day, which is it's not about the amount of money, but the amount of people who see the name of the disease and talking to you. What is this? So slowly, you create that awareness about what it is.
Without a doubt, I relate this a little bit to the butterfly skin charity. In the same way, 6 years ago, I had no idea, never heard of it. But as a community in Marbella, as our little boy who started that then, who's now a young man, but with Pablo, it's the same type of thing. It's up to our community to support each other, pass this information on, and above all, make sure that Pablo doesn't feel uncomfortable in his own town.
Exactly.
That he feels comfortable at home. So the 30th, there's going to be music, dance, food. You are going to be coming with your wife Sylvia and Pablo to actually be in the square. That's at 4 o'clock, I understand.
Around 4 o'clock, yeah.
So it starts at midday at 12. There's going to be activities all the way through and very international, because our international community is getting on board. But I like the fact that at 4 o'clock you can actually go meet Pablo and Jose and his beautiful wife Sylvia. She should be on TV, really. She's really got a TV, got a beautiful face, as is Pablo, who's gorgeous. So obviously we want as many people as possible to come on the 30th from midday till 11 at night.
Yeah.
But 4 o'clock is the key moment. There's going to be all kinds of prizes and raffles and
huge paella.
Huge paella, I mean.
A huge paella for 500 people.
And the nice thing is it's just after Christmas, just before New Year, and so obviously the best thing is that it's going to be a great Christmassy feel, and dress warm though.
And a lot of entertainment also for children, dancers.
And they've got face painting for children and entertainment for children, so it really is going to be a family affair.
Yeah, it's a Saturday, everybody's free, or Christmas holiday, so
perfect.
No excuse to for
no
not being there.
Excuses whatsoever. Jose, all I can say is that I'm really happy to meet you and your family, and that our community is getting on board. Obviously, count on us, but we are counting on you too. The 30th, which is Saturday, San Pedro Square, the church square, is going to be from midday till 11 at night, non-stop fun, entertainment, and for a wonderful cause, mastocytosis. Look it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having and thank you for creating this awareness, obviously.
Anything we can do is little, unfortunately.
No, it's big.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Our CIT Marbella guest of this week is none other than the prestigious Glow Club in Puerto Banús. And look at these lovely ladies. I mean, it's just like, makes you feel awful. We have here the lady in charge of fitness. Her name is Sofia. And the young lady in charge of the beauty salon is Teresa, and you can just see they're both glowing, living up to the name of the building. So I don't know what they do to you. Obviously it works. I'll start with you, Sofia, just because you're that little bit closer. Okay. You run the gym.
Fitness, yes. The fitness club.
What do you offer there?
Well, we offer, we have 2,000 meters of facilities, and we offer many activities. It's like a sport family club, and we have indoor swimming pool. We have we treat the water with salt in the swimming pool. We have a spa. We have a steam room, sauna. We have spinning classes every day and ciclo indoor. We have yoga, Pilates, Zumba, many activities. We have courses, swimming courses for kids as well, kickboxing. You can enjoy with the family or alone or whatever you want to do to get fit.
And this is in Puerto Banús?
In Puerto Banús, yes. We are in Playas del Duque, where is the urbanization next to the pharmacy, and the beauty is very close to the gym, yeah.
So, lovely that you've come here. You look absolutely spectacular. If we could all go there and come out looking like you, darling. I mean, it's like...
Thank you very much.
So tell us a bit about the beauty centre.
Well, it is a big beauty center as well, and we have all type of treatments for body treatments and facial treatments. And the best of our beauty center probably is the professionals that are very good. We have the last technology for apparatology, and we work with a very good cosmetic, and the installations are very good as well. So we can offer many things. We have Arabic hammam as well. Not all of beauty salon has this authentic Arabic hammam, and it works very good because the results are the best guarantee that we can have in our beauty salon.
Would you have to be a member to be in the Glow Club?
No, you can come for one day, for 1 week. We have, for example, in summer, we have many people who came only for 1 week. They pay 1 week, enjoy the facilities, and then come back the next summer. So you can be a member for 1 year, 3 months, or pay daily, or whatever you want.
It must be very nice for people who actually do live here to have somewhere that they can go, and I suppose you can go and work out, and then you can go through and do some beauty treatments. What kind of day would we have if I was going to get up? I'm going to go spend the day at Glow Club. What would you suggest that we do on a beauty level?
Well, we sell programs. It's our best option because you can do a treatment and you get a result, yeah? But the result, to have a good result and very effective, is the best thing is to do a program. And in that program, we include as well the sport. So it's very important to have a good nutrition and do a sport and do beauty treatments. So it's a program, what we sell. You can have a day starting doing the sport, come to our beauty salon, do your facial or your body treatment, and finishing with your hairdresser and manicure and pedicure. And
so you have all that as well? You really do cover all those aspects? It's not just going for a facial or for a cleansing. You can literally go, do your sports, go and do whatever you want to do, and then leave perfect to go out in the evening?
Of course.
Yes. Go to the hairdresser, make the manicure, and then you can enjoy and have a dinner or whatever.
Now I know why they're looking so good, because they've just left the Glow Clubs. Before they go anywhere, go to the Pelu and then go and get everything nicely done. We're spoilt for choice of where to go out of an evening to wine and dine. However, due to the very strict drinking and driving laws and the fear of those controls, we frequently stay very close to home. Now, Aunt Lily's been wanting to go to the much acclaimed Takumi for a while, but she lives in Alveria, and that's the centre of Marbella. But thanks to the new Safety First policy by Linea Director, she decided that she would venture out because if she needed to, she could put the policy into practice. And that's exactly what happened. Lily and Tom had an absolutely fabulous dinner at Takumi, so much so that when it got time to go home and Lily realised that her 1 glass of wine had already probably put herself over the limit, they decided to stay and carry on enjoying the evening, knowing that all they had to do was ring Linea Director's special number for their Safety First policy, and they would send a taxi at no charge to pick her and Tom up and take them home back to Alveria. And at the same time, as Lily wanted, their car was taken on a tow truck back home as well. Now, why does Linea Directa offer this free extra service included in their policy? Well, prevention is certainly cheaper than cure, and they want to make sure that they live up to their name, putting your safety first and catering to expats' needs. This policy is only available to expats with their NIE, with their residency number, and only for the province of Malaga, but you can use it up to 4 times a month. All this is in addition to the special features that Linea Directa already offer their clients. As a Spanish company, they cater to all the legal local laws that are necessary when driving in Spain. They also have a fleet of tow trucks, mechanics, hotels, lawyers, anything you need to make sure you are safe and truly covered. All the documentation is in English, they have helplines in English, so everything is easy to understand. Linea Directa really is putting your safety first. If you'd like more information on insuring your car with Linea Directa, you can call them on 952 14 78 34. That's 952 14 78 34, and they'll answer all your questions in English. And of course, you can go to the website www.lineadirecta.com. To have a woman in charge of the sports club is kind of unusual. It's quite an honour, or not an honour really, because it's like it should be like if you're the right person for the job.
No, for me it's an honor, but most of our personnel are women. In the beauty we have many women, and in the fitness as well we have in the reception we have 3 girls, 2 teachers, and I like my job, so I try to do my best. And I used to prepare special classes for the members, and I try to be in all the activities just to know if the clients like, or we have to change something, or so. For me, it's an honor because I like my job and I have the possibility to do whatever I like.
Well, it makes sense that you be the boss if you, as I say, you actually do the different activities, you try everything out, you get to be part of it and to make sure that they're getting the best experience. Where are you from?
I'm from Madrid, but I used to live here in Marbella since I was young. I studied till 3 years old here in Marbella.
So you're authentica Marbella.
Casi, yes, casi.
Anyone over 10 years is kind of given like, okay, we accept you. And where are you from?
I'm from Granada, but I've been living in many places in Spain. And finally I'm here, well, I'm here for many, many years, 30 years ago. I don't want to say how much.
It's been a long time for me too. But we're still young. I mean, we've still got a lot of time to go, hopefully, with all this great weather. Well, I look forward to coming and visiting you in your house in Glow Club.
Please, you will be very welcome.
And obviously, if you want to go and give someone a Christmas present or a New Year present or a Reyes present, what better way than a little bit of health, happiness and glowing, because you guys just look wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicole.
Hello, I'm Roy Litchell from Laude San Pedro. Last week's sign was Silent Night. One more time, Silent Night. This week's sign is Feliz Navidad. One more time, Feliz Navidad.
And a very good evening to you. Here we are again for AAA. My name is Lily and I represent one of the biggest animal shelters in Marbella, as most of you already know. Today I will not present a little doggy because we have come to the end of the year again. A whole year has passed, and what a year it has been. We've had ups and downs at AAA like everybody else, because I guess that's how life goes. We've had a lot of dogs come in, a lot of cats come in, and a lot of dogs and cats have luckily been adopted. So therefore, on behalf of AAA, I would like to thank everybody who has supported us. We had a call of help in August, and many of you responded by becoming a member of AAA, which of course is easily done for only €5 a month. A lot of people also virtually adopted one of our pets, dogs or cats, which can be done on the website. It's a wonderful program. And what's happening right now, even people are giving a virtual adopted dog as a Christmas present to anybody else. So that is a very nice Christmas present or end of the year present if you're still looking for something very original to give a friend. Just go to the website and find out about the virtual adoption program and the virtual adoption Christmas gift. We would really, really appreciate your support in that, and definitely the dogs and the cats would appreciate it even more. So as I said, we thank you all for supporting us, because without your help we cannot do what we do. We take care of 400 dogs approximately and 200 cats at the moment. Even in the end of the year, a lot of dogs are coming in daily. We're taking care of them, we feed them, we give them medical care and prepare them so that you can adopt a healthy, wonderful dog to love for many, many years to come. At the moment we will not have any adoptions as Christmas presents, because you realize as well that dogs or cats are not to be given as presents, because they'll come back in February when people realize and go back to the real life that it's a lot of a responsibility to have a little dog or a pet. So please go to the website if you want, reserve one of the dogs that appeals to you. If you like, come and visit it, and then in January you can take it home. So please consider this, as it is very important for the dogs to, when they are adopted, to be in a home for a long time and not just for a month or so. That rests me just only to wish you a very Merry Christmas, a wonderful holidays, and a very happy New Year with all the good things that can happen to all of us. Thank you very much for watching me, for living with AAA, for adopting, for supporting, for donating and becoming a member. Happy New Year, and I'll see you the next year. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Linea Directa Road Traffic Safety Foundation was created to give awareness about the dangers of driving and basically being a passenger or being a pedestrian, anything around cars, because cars and motorbikes can cause or create accidents or can be subject to accidents. And unfortunately, we don't really think about these things. We get in our cars, we go off, we're in a hurry, we're in a rush, we don't take notice of the speed limits, we park where we shouldn't. And the worst thing is when, for example, we see cyclists, we don't leave the necessary space when we're overtaking them. All these things are part of an education program that we need to know about. Unfortunately, there are many people who are paraplegic from pedestrian accidents of cars running them over as motorbikes, as there are people who hurt themselves diving into swimming pools. There are many dangers out there, and a lot of them can be avoided. Us being careful on the roads is utmost importance. Coming up to the end of year with all those New Year's parties, and then the Three Kings in Spain, the celebrations go on until the 6th of January. Means that office parties, drinking and driving, a lot of people out there from different countries driving in different ways with different things on their mind, and they're not thinking about you and your safety. You have to do that. So please, please be careful when you're on the roads. And if you're an establishment that is offering drinks and promoting people to come out and drink and have a good time, please also promote that they do so responsibly. And this can be done by signing up to our designated Driver Zero Hero campaign that we're also doing with the Road Traffic Safety Foundation, Linea Directa. If you want to give away a few drinks, Cokes, orange juices, soft drinks, in exchange for that person driving responsibly and bringing the other people who can then drink and have a good time but not be a danger to themselves or others on the roads, please contact us here at Marbella Now TV, because we want to give you free disposable breathalyzers that we've prepared for you, so you can offer this in your bar, restaurant, club, and make it fun at the same time for people to be rewarded because they are zero heroes. I am so delighted to welcome Yvonne onto the programme, not only because she is part of the Art Society on the Costa del Sol, which is a major worldwide infrastructure, over 100 clubs, I believe, around the world, but she's also very knowledgeable about everything. I'm just having a nice chat off camera. She knows about everything. Yvonne, welcome to Marbella Now.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolute pleasure, I have to say. Before we get into talk about the Art Society, I've been doing a little research on you, and I was fascinated because you come from an educational background.
Yes.
But you've been talking recently on ethnical Chinese minorities, Asia, different cultures and really the plights they go through. So can we start there?
Yes, absolutely. It's very close to my heart. Travel is a passion, and especially traveling in Asia, where the cultures are so different to our own, and China in particular, which I have been to 5 times since 2007. Of course, originally to see some of their ancient cultural treasures, but then I discovered that in the very, very remote part of China, in the southwestern corner, there is a province called Yunnan. And it is recognized as the most culturally diverse province in China because it has 25 of China's officially recognized ethnic minorities. And traveling there, not only that, but in the most magnificent of landscapes. So traveling there was one of those experiences, you know, that make your heart sing. And they have the most fascinating customs and traditions.
I know that when my daughter was young and she was at school, she came home very, very upset one day because she asked me, is it true that they kill baby girls in China? Is it true that they can only have one child in China and therefore they kill the girls because they only want the boys? And when you come from a European world like I'm very privileged to do, in a very safe world, it's very hard to explain to a child that everyone doesn't have it as good as we do, that it's not just the privileges we see from someone having more money or less money in our day-to-day, but it does really go so much further than that. How do you feel coming from Sweden to find yourself in such a culturally different environment?
Well, of course, when you travel as a tourist, you don't see or hear anything of that. But I do know that there was a preference for boys, and there was a one-child policy, because China now has 1.4 billion people on a surface that is about the same size as the US. Of course, in many cultures, in India also, there's always been a preference for boys. But that
probably because they work and bring in the money?
Well,
I don't know, why
yes,
was the reason
also,
being?
well, also because, of course, going back in time, farming was probably the predominant occupation in countries like that. And boys were obviously, they felt, could they only have one child, it had to be a boy. But that one-child policy has been discontinued. And it never applied to ethnic minorities. They could have more children.
Why is that?
I have no idea.
How strange.
Perhaps because they represent a much smaller group. 92% of China's population are so-called Han Chinese, the Chinese that you would recognize. And the ethnic minorities only represent 8%.
So
perhaps
it's nice that there was a protection of their heritage as such.
Yes, and I think even more so now when they're beginning to realize that there is a tourist potential there.
It's just going to make money of anything, huh?
Yeah. And also don't forget that with that policy for many, many years, there is now an imbalance between male and female. So by taking that away, that one-child policy, they're hoping to rectify that.
Yes,
imbalance.
I did hear that there was that generation that could not find a partner because
That's
there just
right.
were no partners around because they hadn't
right.
been, well, they'd been born maybe, but not managed to live. I can't imagine giving birth to a child and anyway. Let's go to a little bit of something, the Art Society.
Yes.
Because every month you hold events, which I think is quite amazing, and the fact that about 150 people go to them every month, I find it's blown my mind, to be honest with you.
Well,
what do you do that everyone wants to come and listen
first, let me correct that. That's membership.
Okay.
And not everybody comes every month.
Because in Marbella, to move people on the Costa del Sol like that, it's not easy.
No, well, we have the core activities are our lectures on art and cultural interests, and we have those from once a month from October through to May. And we also have extra lectures. So in total we have about 12 to 13 lectures every season. And the lecturers come from the UK, and they have gone through a rigorous accreditation process in order to be able to lecture for all these 370 societies around the world. We have 7 in Spain, and we were the first one.
Congratulations.
Yes. And we're still around, celebrating 30 years in 2018, next year.
Wow, 30 years. So before Costa del Sol, the same time I've been here roughly, but the changes here
Then
have
you
been
will
tremendous.
know what a task it must have been for the founder chairman to set it up and to make it work in a Spain that was totally different, as you say, in 1988.
Completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't even have unleaded petrol. I can go that far.
Or emails, mobiles.
Well, that was we actually, part of our company, helped introduce internet into Spain. So yes,
Oh, did you? Wonderful.
Yes, it was quite an experience, I have to say. But it's amazing to see how, just in Europe, the changes from England. I think Spain's 5 years behind England. England's normally 5 years behind the States for things that take to find their way through.
But today, that is our core activity, and that is what tends to bring people in initially. But then they discover...
What kind of subjects, though, do you talk
Oh,
about?
anything from art to architecture, literature, opera, and very often we have Spanish-related subjects because that appeals to people here. So we have a lecture on Cordoba this season, we have a lecture on the Berbers of Alpujarra, and another one on the Phoenicians in Andalusia, especially in Cadiz then, since they established Cadiz. And we've had lectures on Lorca and Hemingway in Spain, but of course we also have big names like Sorolla, Picasso, and modern artists also, like Lucian Freud, for instance. Didn't go down too well, but people tend to like the big established names. So and we've had Vivaldi, and yeah, so anything really that has an art and culture connection.
Do you meet, apart from these groups, when you meet for the cultural events, do you have like social events as well? It must be a nice way to make new friends if you've moved over here, or if you're looking for communities. Is it particular nationality or is it mixed nationalities? What's a bit about the members in the club?
Okay, we have a membership. I think we have about 12, 13 nationalities. Of course, a large part being British, but we have Scandinavians, Danish, Swedish, Finnish, Germans, Austrians, French, Belgium, you name it. We have a lot of different nationalities. And what we have in common is the language, because everything is done in English. And we have many social events. We have after lecture drinks, so we can talk about what we just heard. We have after lecture dinners. We have a Christmas lunch, an end of season dinner dance. And we also do cultural travel together. So we do day trips. We're going to Alpujarra in March after a lecture on Alpujarra, and we're going to Copenhagen in April. This past season we were in Portugal, and we've been everywhere in Spain, so you have to be really creative now to come up with new destinations.
And it must take so much organising to get all these and move all these people around and plan everything. So a lot of work goes into it. Obviously a lot of love goes into it.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can see in your face.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're talking about it and you're beaming.
Yeah.
And
you know, I love these members. They are such wonderful people, and of course we have something in common, which is our love and passion for art and culture. So there is the beginning. But what is also wonderful, one relatively new member sent a little email, and she said, I am so happy I found you. My husband died 3 years ago, and I now feel like I'm having a life again. So to me, that is, well, the best notice I've had in a long time.
Oh, we actually often say this, that to be in Marbella, people pass away, they've come to move out here,
Yeah.
they're left on their own,
Yes.
or for many reasons a lot of people are on their own, and these are ideal clubs to be able to get you out into the world, make friends, and have a reason
Yeah.
to get up in the morning, which
Yeah.
some people, as you say, if you've lost a loved one, can be very hard.
Yes.
How can people get in contact with you, Yvonne, if they would like to become part of the club, find out more information?
Well, I think the best route is probably to go onto our website, because there we have everything about becoming a member. Although you don't have to be a member, you can also come as a visitor. You pay 10 euros on the door, and our lectures are publicized in British and Scandinavian media the week before they take place. They're always the second Monday of the month. Our website is the Art Society, in one, Arts with an S. So the Arts Society-costadelsol.org.
Oh, one of those nice short websites.
I know.
But this is, we know why. It's because they were, when the internet and first became popular, and they said to us, make your names up, we didn't realise you were then going to have to afterwards write them down, because also all our emails and websites are really long.
Yeah.
And now people realise, okay, let's make it shorter.
Well, we used to be Costa del Sol DFAS, DFAS, Decorative and Fine Arts Society, because the headquarters in London were called NADFAS, National Association of Decorative and Fine Arts. But of course, over a 50-year period, they outgrew the name, because now it's no longer national. It's 370 societies around the world.
How does that come about, that you have a little association and then you join up with other clubs, or did it all come from the same original club and then opening new branches?
It came from the original society that was set up in 1968 by a lady called Patricia Fay, and in Chiltern. And this became such a success, other people heard about it, so more societies joined together, and then 3 years later they formed this national association. But fast forward 50 years later, first of all, it's not national anymore. Secondly, it's not about decorative and fine arts anymore. It's a quite limiting description. And what an acronym to describe NADFAS, DFAS, what is it? And then you say, Decorative and Fine Arts Society, and people go, little stuffy that. So now they have rebranded themselves in London, the Arts Society, and all of us become the Arts Society and add where we are. So the Arts Society Nerja, the Arts Society Costa del Sol. So we are one organization, one brand and one vision.
Do you share other things as like a worldwide society? Do you work on different projects together as one, or is everything very individual?
It is individual, but of course we select our lecturers from the same pool in the UK. And also we work very closely together with some of the societies along the coast. So we run young arts projects, for instance, together with one society. We have done that, and we have a Golden Memories event coming up on the 1st of March with the Benahavis Society, where we celebrate the 50 years of the Arts Society, NADFAS now Arts Society. It would be wonderful.
It really is exciting.
Yeah.
And as I say, it's a great opportunity for those who maybe don't have a big friend base round, or you've lost loved ones, or you feel that you're a little lonely, or you just like arts and culture. It really does sound like the place, like a group to be part of.
And for the real aficionados, we have a small group within the big group called the Art Appreciation Group, and that's run by a member artist. We have several artist members, and she keeps an eye out what's happening locally and emails all the people in that group, and then we just make our own way to the place and go for exhibitions or museums. Most recently, one member organized a street art walk in Malaga. Have you heard of the Laganias area behind Plaza de la Merced? Well, there are wonderful murals there. I happen to be a street art fan.
Well, I have to say, I like street art too, and I have to say, I like going to Malagrazón. We don't go often enough because it's got a lot to offer as well.
Yes, culturally. Definitely.
Yvonne, it's been a pleasure to meet you, know a little bit more about you. I hope I get to see you soon. You could tell us about the different events coming up within the Art Society. And if you would like to become a member of the Art Society, please do contact Yvonne and the group, because I'm sure they'd love to have you along.
Absolutely.
You would, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, just
we
checking.
welcome everyone with open arms.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
And congratulations for your birthday coming up, 30 years for the Art Society next year.
Thank you.
We'll have you back
Thank
by
you,
then,
Nicole.
hopefully.
Thank you.
Last week, we heard a fabulous original Christmas song called It's Christmas. We put it on Monday and Friday show because it's that good. How often do you get new original Christmas songs that sound like you've heard them forever? Well, not often, which is why we're so very honoured to welcome the writer, performer of It's Christmas, Estela Maria.
Hi.
Welcome to Marbella now.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, you've written a beautiful Christmas song. It feels like I've heard it forever.
Oh, that really touches my heart. Thank you so much.
You're so young. I know normally we don't talk about ladies' ages, but you're only 19, so I think I can maybe mention that. When did you start composing? And
I started composing like way before I started university, but all of this started since I met this teacher at university that managed to like make all of this happen. So
someone who actually guided you, saw that you had talent,
yes,
and desire,
exactly.
and like, helped you find your way.
Yeah, he actually helped me so much. I am so grateful for him.
Your name is very Spanish, Estela Maria, yet your English is perfect, and I hear you speak Spanish. So where are you from? What's your origins?
My origins, so I was born here in Spain, but my mom is like English, so since I was born, I'm used to like speak with her in English and my dad in Spanish. It's a very weird thing, you know?
Well, actually, I think a lot of us on the coast, my children are Spanglish, born in Madrid, Marbella, so we have this international mix, which is very nice because you start off the game with extra languages, so that must help.
It does, actually.
So where are you living now?
Right now, I am studying at university in England, so I'm staying there. And
what are you studying?
I'm studying musical theatre. I'm so happy with that, seriously. And yeah, sometimes come here for the holidays in Spain. I need some sunshine, of course. Can't stay always in the clouds.
And what are your dreams? Where do you see yourself when you're all the ripe old age of, say, 25?
Oh, 25. By 25, I hope I could be like traveling around the world, singing, dancing, acting, films, movies, songs, stages.
So everything on stage.
Everything.
You like the drama of it.
Oh, I love drama. You should ask my friends at university. Say, who is Estela? And said the drama queen.
When you were growing up, I imagine at home you were either a delight or you drove everyone crazy.
I think it's a little bit of both of them. Because at home here in Spain, I have this big family with me, so this is why I could be perfect as super nanny in one of the films, because I used to like, you know, take care of all my 6 brothers and sisters. So yeah, cast me in any of them.
So you have a nice big family, and I imagine they're all very supportive of your career and excited to see you be successful.
My brother is very supportive. He wants me to buy him a Ferrari as soon as I get this.
So there is a method to his madness. He's got reasoning behind wanting you to be successful.
The only reason I think he supports me for.
What is your inspiration? When you get up in the morning, what is that first thing you think about? It's like, today I'm going to, obviously apart from your studies.
My inspirations is like to make people smile as soon as I wake up, because I really love making people smile. That they inspire me in songs and everything that I do in life, so that's the first thing that I think on the day.
When we think about inspiration and songs, frequently it comes from pain and suffering, so it's so refreshing to hear you say you're inspired by happiness and making people
inspired by
happy.
happiness. I mean, I would love to say like, you know, I just wake up in the morning, £1 million will be fine, but no, smiles are the best, it's the best.
What is your genre of music? What do you like to listen to and what do you compose?
Oh my.
We've got a Christmas song, but obviously that's an atypical.
Let's see, I would say like pop, rock, Celtic, Latin, Spanish, flamenco, ballads, anything really. I just like everything.
Well, I hope we're going to get to see you performing here in Marbella. We have great venues here.
Really?
So we'll have to talk afterwards, I'll let you know. But
Oh,
there are
God,
loads of places.
Literally, just give me the microphone and a stage and I'm up there. If you want an hour or two, I'll just stay there. 24 hours if you want on stage.
They'll never let you leave here in Marbella. Well, that's one of the nice things of actually living in this city, that we can go to a restaurant or a club and that there's always this live music and get to meet and great talent like yourselves.
Yeah, I seriously love it because I used to do that when I was little. In the minute that I see a stage in one of the fairs or something like that, I say, I want to sing. And the guy will say like, no, you know, it's my job, I have to sing. It's like, yes, but I want to sing too, so give me the microphone. I wouldn't leave the stage until he gives me the microphone.
So you're not shy?
No, just give me the microphone in front of Wembley Arena or anything like that, I'm there.
It just goes to show, you either have it or you don't have it. This lady certainly does have it. Estela Maria, I can't thank you enough for taking time to pop in and visit us here at our space and tell us a little bit about you.
I can't thank you, seriously. I always love to come to Marbella, and just to see the chance to be here is seriously amazing. So thank you so much for having me here.
It's my pleasure. And let's now take another listen to It's Christmas, an original track written and performed by Estela Maria. And we have to get another one in before the end of the year, otherwise we can't listen to it again until next year. And that's such a shame.
Oh.
Happy New Year, darling.
Happy New Year
I hope
to you
2018
too.
is equally good and even better for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll say the same for you too.
If my wish can just come true, I've been spending my whole year waiting for you. And Papa, tell me if this feeling is alright. I cry out loud your name by day, whispering through nights. And tell me when the time is right. For baby, baby, stars are shining bright. It's Christmas, my heart is warm, the landscape winter snow. My heart is rising, the leaves surround us. This feeling we felt so long ago. It's Christmas, make my wish be the brightest of the night. As I made my way through superstitions, once I made my own decision, be with you tonight. Papa, tell me, this madness leads my feelings through. You know how fire warms a soul when it feels blue. And praying, praying for a chance to be with you. I don't need any toys this year, just you will do. And tell me when the time is right. For baby, baby, stars are shining bright. It's Christmas, my heart is warm, the landscape winter snow. My heart is rising, the leaves surround us. This feeling we felt so long ago. It's Christmas, make my wish be the brightest of the night. As I make my way to superstitions, once I make my own decision, be with you tonight. It's Christmas. It's Christmas, my heart is warm, the landscape winter snow. My heart is rising, the leaves surround us. This feeling we felt so long ago. It's Christmas, make my wish be the brightest of the night. As I make my way to superstitions, once I made my own decision, be with you tonight. It's Christmas.
Hello, I'm Rowan Litchfield from Laudo San Pedro. Thank you to all the viewers and all the people who were learning sign language along the road with me. I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you in 2018. Bye!
Last week we learned how to say Happy Christmas, Feliz Navidad. Happy Christmas, Feliz Navidad. But Christmas is over. Now we're looking forward to the new year. So we're going to be saying Feliz Año Nuevo. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo. Happy New Year. Normally our program starts with hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Kind of fits in with ho, ho, Christmas is coming. Well, I'm taking this opportunity to give a big thank you to Terry Shaughnessy for writing hey, hey, it's a brand new day, and for not having used it because it's just perfect for my program, and I'm just blessed. I know that everybody loves it. Terry Shaughnessy is a very talented singer-songwriter. Let's listen to some more of his music.
Like I've been waiting just the start, as dust fell from a distant star, and I will be with you always. As the pressure builds, you wanna let it out. Feel the pressure build, you wanna shout it out. And everything you feel, well, now it's breaking down. It's breaking down. This new ground. You wanna let it out. You wanna shout it out. You wanna let it out. Pressure. Let it out. It's rising, as you shout it out. And as the pressure builds, you wanna let it out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey.
What a great way to end our year programming, but with our lovely British consul. Charmaine is once again back in Marbella now. Thank you for joining us here at Our Space.
Thanks for inviting me
Thank
again.
you for finding it. The nice thing is that she's very impressed. Julie's really, it's a lovely place at this Our
It's
Space.
gorgeous, it's gorgeous.
It is perfect place for doing get-togethers and meetings. If you haven't been, do come in to Our Space. Maria, Carlos would love to show you around. As with the British consulate in Madrid, in Malaga, very open to helping us. And in fact, Charmaine, I believe, following on from the new age concern Marbella San Pedro, you're launching through the embassy a new website for elderly people.
Yeah, I mean, basically, one of the areas of work that we find really difficult is when we have older people who are resident here and who need some support, but we can't provide it. Obviously, we're not, we're not carers. We're caring, but we're not carers, yeah? And quite often we'll get calls from hospital social workers, for instance, or even just really concerned relatives, excuse me, who want to know, what should I do in these circumstances? I have a neighbour, they've lived here for ages, the husband died, the wife's a little bit isolated now. You know how we love to buy our fincas in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. They're not really very well integrated into the local community. She's had a fall, she's ready to leave hospital now, but she needs a bit of extra care. What do we do? And basically, of course, the Spanish system is set up with the assumption is that your family are going to step in, but we know that a lot of Brits come here and they don't necessarily come with their families, and when their immediate family kind of falls away, sometimes it's really difficult for them to find the support that they need. So we kind of thought, what could we do to help? We obviously don't have the staff. I'm always telling you, we have 8 members of staff in the consulate to cover the size of Andalusia. Yeah. So what could we do? And one of the things that we thought we could do is actually try and put into one place, one easily accessible place, information about the kind of support that is available, because as we know, there are lots of organisations, as you mentioned, there's Age Care, Age Concern, there are lots of organisations up and down the Costa del Sol who provide support to vulnerable British people, but people don't necessarily know that. And it's not just that the person themselves doesn't know it. Sometimes neighbours, friends, health centres don't know that those services are there. So we launched this website, and we did 2 launches. One launched to a Spanish audience and one launched to a British audience. And basically it's called Support in Spain. You can use it as an individual, you can use it as a professional, you can use it as a neighbour or a friend that's concerned about someone. You can search by specific services, so you can look by finance or day centres or home helps, and you can also look by the area that the person happens to be in, and you can find there a wealth of information about the kind of support that's available out there.
Is it going to be an interactive site? So, for example, age concern Marbella, San Pedro, that they contact the website and say this is the services we're offering, so it can be included? Well, what's the procedure?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite interesting because it's taken us about 2 years to get here. Initially, we had this idea of we want to have this tool, this website, and then, of course, in order to do that, we had to go out and research what are the organisations that are there. So we had somebody actually from the University of Birmingham who did some research about a year ago. She got all the information together, then we ran out of money, then we got some more money for it, and it's all in this website now. Basically, we don't include an awful lot of information about the organisations. What we do is if that organisation looks like the right organisation according to the search that you've done, we'll give you their website and their contact details. Yeah, so you'll get a link into their information. Interestingly enough, when we did the Spanish launch, one of the organisations said to us, do you know, it'd be really useful if you would put a little bit about our organisation in there in English, because of course our website's going to be in Spanish. If you have English speaking users who only speak English, directing them to our website isn't necessarily going to be the best way of providing information for them. So we're really interested, if people have any ideas about how we could improve it, we're really interested to get that feedback. Yeah.
Well, it's a great incentive, and in fact I was with some people last week, and actually it was Catherine Stevenson, who's got a great luxury car. She even rents like really Maseratis and that for the movies and things, very cool. But we hooked up for something, and she was very worried because she was a gentleman in the same circumstance in hospital, and the Spanish hospitals are counting on the Spanish family being there for the feeding and this. Yeah. And this happened also with another friend, Joanna's friend Philip, that they find themselves in hospital and there's no one there to go and sit with them, be with them, because the situation in Spain, the setup here is really very much dependent on having that family unit, which most of us who move out here don't come with our families.
But I mean, the thing that's quite interesting, and we've made the website in English and in Spanish. Yeah, so even though initially our idea was let's make this information available to individuals, we're also aware that there are hospital social workers, there are doctors, you know, there are nurses, there are all sorts of healthcare professionals or any professionals who have the same questions. Where should I send this person? And they don't, you know, they know what's available in the Spanish system, but they don't necessarily know. There might be these voluntary organisations that could provide these services. Having said that, I am really kind of quite anxious that I don't want to overload the voluntary organisations. They do an amazing job on really minimal amount of income, and they do a massive amount of fundraising. So we've tried to include in the website information about what services, what benefits might you still be entitled to bring with you from the UK, for instance. A lot of people don't know that there are some benefits that are exportable that you can bring with you here. Yeah.
I have to say, when I moved over years ago, if I'd have brought my car over within the first year, you don't even have to pay for it.
Exactly.
Silly things that when you 2 years later, I think I'll bring my car in. I was like, oh,
too late. Yeah,
too late.
Yeah. But there are also lots of, if people are empadronado, and it's back to our favourite
on
subject,
the town register.
You know,
yes.
If people are empadronado, there are lots of benefits and services they might be entitled to through the Spanish system, but only if they're empadronado. And we thought it was really important that we make that information available to people as well. So that's the reason why we make the information available in both Spanish and English, so that as wide a possible cross-section of people that might need access to it can actually access it and use it.
Why are people particularly the Brits, so loath to go onto the Padron? What is it, Charmaine, that they're fearing?
Shall I tell you
Yes.
a secret? Well, okay.
Please do.
The kinds of things that I've heard people say are, we don't want people, you know, like if we sign up, then people are going to be digging into our tax affairs and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, as the British Consul, what I'm going to say to you is, well, if you live here, then you should be doing your declaración de la renta, you know, you should be paying your taxes here. And if you aren't, then that's a little bit naughty, yeah? So in that respect, you shouldn't be fearful. We've always been told, I don't know how true this is, we've always been told by the town halls that it has nothing to do with the taxes, that they're not passing that information on to anywhere. So there is no need for people to be concerned about it. But it is a legal requirement. And the interesting thing that we find now, actually, is since the referendum for exiting the European Union, yeah, we find that people are much keener to register on the Padron, because people realise quite clearly that if there is going to be a before and an after, that it's really important that you've been registered, and that it's not going to be, oh, I've been living in Spain. It's going to be, where's your footprint? Where are you empadronado? Where have you been paying your taxes? Where are you registered with a doctor? Where have your children been going to school? Things like that. So I think, interestingly, one of the positives that's come out of Brexit is that people are sort of a little bit more interested in registering and can see, actually, there's some benefit for me to registering. But as you and I know, you should be registering, because you're using your local council's services. Their services are the settlement that they get from central government is based on the number of people that live in the municipio. And if half of the municipio aren't registered, then the town hall's only getting half of the money that it could be getting, which means that you're only getting half of the services
for twice the amount of people.
Exactly.
And it's not just that. In the summertime, I mean, we can get over 1 million people additional to the double already population that is officially declared. So how do we keep the streets clean? How do you look after medically all those people? How do you police those streets when there's not official figures? The thing I always think about, if the looky men, bueno, bonito, barato, they're all on the town register. So for me, that is a comforting issue. They're not here legally, most of them. They're from Senegal, they're not here legally, they don't have papers, and yet they're on the town register for the reasons you say. It's giving them that footprint, it's giving them that foot in the door.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know why it is. I really don't understand, because if you're in the UK, you register for your council tax, you know. Nobody would think of not paying it. We wouldn't get away without paying it. So I don't understand it, but I do encourage people, and especially as we're coming up to that magic Brexit date, it's really important that if you're not registered, please do register. If you have any intention of staying, please do register. It's going to be your passport to services and your passport for working out what kind of entitlement you have to be in Spain.
With the Brexit, just quickly, Charmaine, because I can't believe time goes so quickly, or so interesting, and so much we need to know. Brexit, is it more stable now, or from what I've read recently, is it just as crazy as ever and looking like, I don't even know what to ask you about it. It's like the changes every day of like...
Well, the good news over the past couple of weeks has been, in spite of all the toing and froing and bartering and negotiating and all of that, that eventually the British government has managed to convince the European Union that we have made sufficient progress on those top 3 issues, which were citizens' rights, the Irish border, the Northern Ireland border, and our financial commitment. So there might have been a little bit of fudge on some of those, but at least there is a general acceptance that we've made enough progress on that for us now to begin to talk about the transition period and trade as well. But kind of for most of your viewers, and certainly for most of the people that we deal with from the consulate, the big thing that we want to get onto is the transition period. How long is that going to take? How long are we going to have for that? What are the sorts of things that we're going to talk about? How are we going to schedule those agreements? What does it mean for me over the next 2 years, what does that mean for the way that I live in Spain? So it's great news that we've moved on to that next phase. Hopefully next time I come,
Exactly.
I'll be
I'm just
able to
saying,
give you some more
2018,
information. Yeah.
come back and let's hope we're a big step forward
Yeah.
and that we can put everybody's
Yeah,
minds
let's
at
hope
ease and we
so.
can have a happy and non-stressful, a very relaxed 2018. Thank you so much, Charmaine.
Thanks for
Lovely to
inviting
see
me.
you.
It's
Oh,
been
so
lovely to
excited
see you as
again. It's
well.
been a long time.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's do 2018.
Let's do
yeah?
it.
Chocolate.
Well, that's it. Not only for another week, but actually for 2017. What a way to finish the year. Our lovely British consul Charmaine, Lily, back with us. We hope you've had a fabulous 2017. You've had a fabulous Christmas. You will have an amazing new year and an even better 2018. And remember to join us because we will be back at the beginning of the year. But for now, from Marbella now and the team, it's take care and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Bye!